it's time for the last panel about why isn't Web3 and AI working and how do we fix it. Moderated by Raphael, principal at Tioga Capital, this panel brings together builders and thinkers pushing the boundaries of AI and blockchain. So please welcome to the stage Ben, co-founder and CEO at Gensyn, Robin, chief of staff at Nevermind, Bidhan, founder and CEO of Bagel, Gabriel, LLM engineer from Gnosis, and Shashank, co-founder and COO at Gaia. Let's hear what you say. Thank you. You can have my microphone. Microphones? Microphone, please, guys.
Thank you. Hey, nice to see you.
Does everyone have the microphone? Yeah. You have it. Good. Water? Someone want water? Yes.
Thank you.
Hey everyone. It's okay. Thanks for still being with us. It's late. Most people are at dinner already. Last one for today. Maybe why don't we start with a quick round of intro? Maybe let's try to stick to 30 seconds per person. Right to left, maybe?
Sure. So hello, everyone. My name is Gabriel. I'm with Gnosis AI. And not sure how much everyone knows about Gnosis, but we got started with prediction markets roughly 10 years ago and have launched some infrastructure projects from there, like CowSwap, Safe, and most recently Circles. And now with Gnosis AI, we've been focusing a lot on prediction markets and building AI agents that both provide liquidity to those markets as well as place trades. Yeah, thank you.
Hi, everyone. My name is Bidhan. I'm the founder of Bagel. And at Bagel, we enable the monetization of open source AI using crypto. Excited to be here today with all the other guests.
Hey everyone, I'm Ben, co-founder of Gensyn. At Gensyn, we're building the network for machine intelligence. It's very low-level software for machine learning to be done on any device in the world. Basically, we build a compiler, execution frameworks, communication frameworks, verification frameworks, and coordination with a chain. Most people will know us now for our live application RL Swarm, which allows anyone with a MacBook or a GPU to run a node at home, train a machine learning model in a large swarm collaboratively with other people, and own that model. It's not part of any company or anything like that. It's your model, but it's collaboratively trained with other people who are running them on their nodes all over the world.
Hi, everyone. I'm Robin Doble, Chief of Staff at Nevermind. Nevermind is an AI payments infrastructure that helps AI builders and publishers monetize their AI agents. What does payment infrastructure mean in the context of AI agents? It covers various areas, including registration, access, control, and authentication, some degree of discoverability, usage, metering, and payments, and analytics and observability.
Hey everyone, my name is Shashank, co-founder and CEO of Gaia. Gaia is an open source developer framework. A few lines of code helps you set up your own agent nodes. We make it super cheap, easy, and quick to set up agents and agents nodes. We're an inference network. We allow for the attribution, validation, of monetization of inference on chain. We want to help share and monetize agents quickly and easily. We do that through a domain node architecture. We're open source. We're Web3 enabled, and we have over 730,000 nodes to date. Go check us out.
Cool. Thanks everyone. And quickly on my side, I'm Raphael. I'm at Tioga Capital, crypto VC. We've been around for 5 years. Just raised Fund 2 now, coming live next month. And we've invested in olas and a couple other projects in AI. Maybe first question, crypto and AI is like very broad, very vague. Like as a VC, I see all kind of projects in that space, like some of the best builders I've seen in crypto, but also like some lower quality project. Maybe to make it more concrete, what are some use cases that you are really excited by in that specific segment? Who wants to start?
I can start. I mean, one of the most exciting things you can do using crypto in the AI space is the monetization. I mean, that's what we kind of do, so I'm probably biased towards the solution. But, like a crypto is actually one of the most viable ways to monetize open source work for open source developers in general. And we are doing that for the open source AI space specifically. I'm happy to talk about, I'm not going to go too deep into technically how that works and bore you guys and put you to sleep. But this is one of the areas where you can only kind of do it if you apply the ethos of crypto. And without that, it's not possible. So it's not like something you're kind of bringing some two worlds together and kind of duct taping them. Here, you actually need the crypto part of it to be able to make it happen. And that's why I'm so excited about it.
I can maybe give a similarly biased answer with a different angle. Scale is probably the most exciting thing to us. So I agree with the monetization piece, but at Gensyn, we typically think about the idea of just getting machine learning done on as many devices as possible. And you hit a trust problem when you do that, and that you have to be able to trust a device before you can send operations to that device. And crypto just provides a fantastic solution to this. We can solve trust problems natively with a chain via consensus. And so if you're able to take something which is this weird off-chain computation, which is machine learning operations, and prove them to a chain, you're able to get the benefit of trust that we all kind of take for granted in crypto now, and the ability to make decisions without any single central party directing those decisions. Once you've done that, you also open up the access to monetization and things like that. So there's lots of downstream uses that you get from crypto, but from our perspective, it's a technical solution that solves trust in a way that previously we had to rely on companies and lawyers and judges and things to arbitrate disputes, and now we can do all of that programmatically.
Thanks. I'd just like to perhaps frame these responses as if we think about the infrastructure required to make an agent operational, publish an agent, and then the actual use of that agent, the transaction capacity thereafter. So these are two very different problems. And I think that the blockchain effectively is probably the best venue for the future AI economy. So multi-agent systems are able to transact with very small, very large transaction throughput and very small transaction costs. And there's minimum thresholds in the fiat space that would make microtransactions untenable. And then the minute you move towards a more credit-based architecture where you would involve upfront payments and credits that you would then draw down against agent usage, you effectively end up in closed economies. So there's a lot of good theoretical reasons, sound reasons why the future of multi-agent finance lives on chain. It's just, I think that we're quite premature in that cycle at the minute, and there's just not a lot of multi-agent activity, so we're just not seeing crypto exploit that advantage. So that's not to say anything about the infrastructure side and all the benefits that can be brought with decentralized training and inference, but we think that our thesis is that it's the transaction layer that really needs to live on-chain in the long run.
Maybe just one quick follow-up on this one. If you look 3 years from now, do you think that crypto is going to represent 80 to 100% of the agent economic activity, or we'll see two different worlds with crypto maybe 50% and then still other types of agents using the existing rails?
I mean, I would say that we, it's kind of unclear where crypto AI is going to end up. In the traditional tech space, I mean, I've been to a lot of conferences this year, and the AI Engineering Summit, Super AI in Singapore. There was another AI Engineering Summit in San Francisco. We're going to the Race Conference in Paris. And if you actually step outside of the crypto space and you go to traditional tech events, you'll meet teams that are building really valuable agents that people are spending a lot of money on. So agents that are being heavily monetized, and other startups spending upwards of $5,000, $10,000, $15,000 a month for a single agent. And that stuff just doesn't exist at all in the crypto space. So at the minute, we have Very interesting, let's say, scientific, research-driven approach to decentralizing AI infrastructure. But on the actual realizable agent side, it's a wasteland at the minute. And that needs to change. And I think as things become more multi-agent, we should be able to compete. But we as a community need to figure out how to actually attract not just the best teams to build infrastructure, which crypto markets have never had a problem with, but how we actually attract the best teams on the agent building side as well, on the actual agent side. Because there's a very big quality gap between traditional tech markets and crypto at the minute on that side.
Yeah, you asked 3 years out. I think hard to predict. Obviously, biased. I want crypto or Web3 at least to win out. It's going to be a dog-eat-dog race between Web2 world and Web3 rails, because you're basically competing for the infrastructure dominance of the next revolution of tech. There's billions of dollars, obviously, on the other side, but you have potentially cheaper, not there yet, potentially cheaper and more democratized, censorship-resistant, and yada yada, all the benefits of blockchain that offer a truly democratized AI vision. That may not win out, though. So I think it's imperative that we have these conferences, that we push our vision. Whichever group of companies win out, great, but it's imperative that it happens because it's not guaranteed. So
I think it's pretty clear that there's just a big marketing problem, right? Like when we go to these ML conferences, it's very hard to get through to an ML engineer or researcher about the actual tangible benefits of crypto. They just don't want to hear it. They see all the headlines, they see all the like scams and the casino aspects of crypto, and it completely puts them off. And I think annoyingly, like the ideological aspects, the democratization, people do feel that in the machine learning space, but they don't realize that there exists a technical solution because they never get past the first stage of looking at it. And it's incredibly frustrating, but it's just something we have to get through. I don't know how we do it, frankly, as an industry. Like we do it heavily in hiring. It's probably the place we feel it the most, where we talk to machine learning researchers or engineers and we're trying to convince them to join, and you have to get through that barrier. And ultimately, ideology is some of it, but realistically, I think we need to show that this is just a better technology, straightforward for exactly what they're doing. And so it's a better spec API, it's lower cost, things like that, not convincing them that it needs this kind of ideology attached to it. Because I think the crypto space has done enough marketing of the ideology now.
Yep. You actually front-loaded my next question. We just move to the next one. Maybe just like... maybe building on that, on the hype that has been created in the space, how would you describe the state of crypto AI today? Like, is there any specific use cases or companies that really you are not expecting to succeed and then they did amazingly well? And maybe the other way around, is there like some use case that was a big promise in the past but didn't deliver on the expectations?
I can take that. I mean, I would say what was surprising is about a summer ago, just last year when we were starting out, no one even knew what agents were. They didn't know what inference was. All these terms were adopted surprisingly easily after like the AI meme coin boom. So, I mean, I guess I give credit where credit is due to some of those AI agent meme coins that brought the nomenclature and the awareness, and our industry is very adaptable and for the next hype cycle, I suppose, if nothing else. So, but that being said, it set the path for kind of a boom in the infrastructure side, as with all the hype cycles. So,
yeah, I just reiterate the same points I made earlier, but in slightly different language. There's a huge amount of exciting work being done on the infrastructure side in terms of decentralizing the various aspects of the AI stack. I do think there is, in terms of like actually building commercializable agents, let's say the yardstick there is, what's the transaction volume that's actually being exchanged, and it's nascent, it's reasonably non-existent. In the Web2 space, You have the large SaaS players building agents and effectively bundling them into existing monthly SaaS subscriptions at a loss. But at the minute, they're complacent with their, let's say, customer lock-in and access to like companies' private data silos. And there is a sense of complacency that when the time comes, they can just increase their SaaS subscriptions. Now, our view on the multi-agent future is if you have an open economy, then you can exploit the commoditization that would be inherent in a machine-driven economy. Where you have close substitutes, then you can, providing you have the right orchestration or discoverability technology, and you can tender work, and then you can select which agent is going to deliver that work. There'll be a lot of price competition, and the big, let's say the big incumbent companies in the Web2 space will be forced to compete in open competitive markets. I think at the minute, there's just not a lot of money changing hands. There's not a lot of people spending cash on agents that are coming out of the crypto space. And until that changes, it's just people aren't going to take it that seriously.
Yeah, I think a few points have been made on the progress on the infrastructure side, and I think that all of you are building on the infrastructure level.
We're not.
You're not. No. Okay, cool. Then you're next for this question. Do we feel like we have enough on the application side? Of course, like I think there was a talk and a panel before on DeFi, which I would consider on the application side. But do you think that we have enough, or like that the infrastructure is good enough for more builders to do applications?
No. Elaborating a little bit, I think we're getting there. So we're definitely developing some very interesting things with the verifiability and distribution and the centralized training. So allowing better models to be solved in a, let's say, user-owned way. So that's all nice and fine, but it's still a lot bigger challenge to build agents in Web3 than they are to build agents in Web2. I just feel we're not there yet from several standpoints, and the most basic level is just interacting on chain is not trivial for agents. Of course, you can have interesting models like Gaia doing some inference there on chain, allowing the models to communicate, for example. But still, the use case for interacting on chain, having your agent interacting on chain is already a challenge, and we should do better in that regard. Yeah.
Got it. And what do we think are, I mean, just like broader, not only on the application side, what do we think are the main bottleneck, one or multiple bottlenecks that just slow down the space of, both like building but also adoption of crypto AI? Because again, I think it was the main question of this panel. So yeah, what are the main problems today?
The bottleneck in terms of apps, or bottleneck in terms of infrastructure, or in
everything. Like I would encourage to really think broadly on that question. Like could be even regulations, could be this marketing problem that we mentioned before, could be like lack of talent, like anything that you'll see in your day-to-day where you're like, okay, someone needs to solve that.
Yeah, I would say definitely adoption is a problem. Like kind of similar to what Ben said. You know, like if we are building AI applications, we should target AI users who are not necessarily coming from the crypto native community, right? We're kind of limiting ourselves to if we're just saying that we're building for the crypto native community, because the market is massive and the amount of AI users that are out there, right? Like my grandma uses ChatGPT, right? I don't know if I can onboard her to some kind of crypto wallet. That's not possible, but she sends me ChatGPT chats all the time, right? So we have to build for that audience, and there's a lot of hurdles there too, like the infrastructure side, the technical side as well. But one of the biggest is that the branding we have, the crypto AI kind of thing, and that makes a lot of mainstream AI people skeptical by default when they hear the crypto AI. So we have to kind of show them the benefits of it in a different way. Like this is what you can achieve, instead of saying like, oh, we have the fastest TPS chain where you can have your AI models in a decentralized way and the government cannot take it from you. I mean, if the government is trying to take your AI model from you, then you probably have some other bigger problems. True. tackle.
Some people in the machine learning space want that as well. There's a big push for the government controlling the AI models because of safety and things like that, which is a weird thing to have to push against. But yeah, they would prefer that the government come in and control the models. I think there's an interesting solution to what you were describing, which I think the crypto space has leaned into a lot more recently, which is rejecting the thin protocol thesis and just accepting the fact that you have to build the applications. Like, we can try and go out and convince a load of Web2 people to come and build their applications against our low-level infrastructure, or we can actually just build those applications here native in the Web3 ecosystem for their users, essentially. It's a harder plan to execute. You need a lot more resources, but it's what happened in the venture markets in the last wave anyway. It's like what happened with Facebook and Airbnb and Uber. They didn't go and sell to like taxi companies or to hotels. They went and just took their customers. I think like crypto probably has to lean into that as well. It's just going to require more resources and more well-rounded teams.
Yeah, I think one thing you just touched on was general adoption. I think one thing as we scale, we have done pilots with a lot of Web2 enterprise, from like NASA to Fitch Ratings and others. One thing that got us in there was hiding the fact that we're blockchain powered completely. That was one route. Luckily we had like an open source framework, and adoption's easy on that because they don't have to pay anything. But honestly, as we scale it, one of the biggest blockers in the industry is Web3 capable growth BD sales folk. People who can actually sell the tech as unique, but can also sell to enterprise. Very rare. That's one of our biggest challenges next. But that's one blocker. We got to get into the offices and prove it to enterprise. And then, as he just said, I think even the folk that do build on us and are building in the space in general, we really want to push a commercialization mentality. It's no longer, the goal should not be just to launch your token. Even if it's a meme coin. We're like doing a challenge in like accelerators and venture funds and all these things this year, just to get people to go build. Because if you have Replit and you build an agent, you can go make some money. You can build a great a small medium enterprise selling wallpapers. I don't know what you want to do with an agent, but you can build it all by yourself. No code needed, right? So that's what we want to see.
I would again draw a distinction between infrastructure and application. So I think from the infrastructure side, crypto as a space has never had an issue attracting top talent. And I think whatever's coming out of the crypto AI infrastructure can push itself to the same user base or the same target markets as like Web2 stacks. On the application side, I actually think we need to figure out how to attract top application builders, because those guys just don't come to the crypto space at the minute in general. And I think that may change when we move into a multi-agent environment. As I said earlier, crypto is a better rail for high throughput microtransactions. And so as a result, it makes sense for the agent economy to live on chain. But at the minute, we're sort of struggling to get in a human to AI paradigm rather than an AI to AI paradigm. We're struggling to convince the Web2 market that they should bring their agents on chain. I mean, I think it's the decentralization thesis again. At the minute, people really don't care about whether or not access or the transaction infrastructure, or once you register an agent, access to that agent remains decentralized and permissionless. It's just something that the technology space doesn't care about at the minute.
I heard the beep, so I guess we have 2 minutes left. Maybe I will open the floor. Each of you, maybe if there is something you want to announce, like new product, or if you're hiring some type of profile, like anything you want to share with the audience.
I mean, what I would say from our side is that so our infrastructure is predominantly on-chain. At least there's a bunch of smart contracts that issue credits and burn credits against agent usage. We are indifferent between targeting Web 2 or Web 3 agents. We have a fiat track and a crypto track in terms of like upfront payments and then access and monetization thereof. 100% of our BD focus at the minute is on the Web 2 space. Just anecdotally, like we've been speaking to a company called 11x. They do BDR agents. They charge a minimum of $5,000 a month. They have adopted a very basic approach to monetization and metering, and they're interested in partnering with us. So in this scenario, none of the infrastructure is on-chain. Their infrastructure, but we can register their agents on-chain. And there is something to be said about reaching out into traditional markets and bringing that demand on-chain rather than just trying to fit AI to existing crypto markets.
I'm just going to go quickly. CTA, we're launching a lot of things, but one of the most exciting ones is that we have an early access program open at the moment, which is getting a lot of interest. So if you go to our Twitter page, it's called Bagel OpenAI, no spaces, everything Bagel, and then OpenAI. You'll find it, and along with that, you'll find all the other launches we're going to do in the next few weeks, which is going to be exciting.
I'd say similar to Bagel, we're in testnet right now, and we're launching stuff basically weekly, but very large things at least monthly. And we want people testing them. So please come to Gensyn.ai, test RL Swarm, run a node. Next month, we have a very exciting new release, which is completely unrelated to RL Swarm and should be very interesting for individuals to do. So please just keep an eye on our socials, try the new tech that we release. We're sitting on a lot of infrastructure that we've been building for a really long time, and we'll gradually be releasing that into the testnet, and we just need to stress test it. So if you come, run a node, interact with our software, we're just very thankful.
Go to Gaia.net.ai, run a node. It's open source. I think build with us. We're going to be announcing some programs like the Guardians program, Gaia Gardens. That's going to be kind of ambassadorship all over the world. Build with us. Let us know and buy a domain if you want your own address for your own agents. We're doing that with ENS, so go check us out. Thanks, guys.
So also very quick from my side. As I said, we're building with prediction markets, so real agents. So if you're interested in that area of prediction markets as information sources, also take a look at Gnosis.io and come talk to us during FCC then. Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks, everyone. Thanks also to the audience. I think there is one more talk maybe, or maybe two more. Yeah, one more. Just 10 minutes and then we can all go for dinners. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.